Hello, Education 500, Education 380. It's Dr. Allen here, coming to you from I guess, somewhat seasonable Saturday morning. A little dreary outside, but it's not windy or raining like it was the other day. So I hope all's going well. Few things before we get going. One, let me jump in here. Just wanted to say thank you all very much for the patience with the grading. I know I've said it before, this is not supposed to be a tale of woe, but between Education 500 and Education 380, we have about 45 students in the class. So sometimes like the Nearpods and the Edpuzzles take me a little bit to get through because I do honestly look at them and check them out and try to see what you have in content and everything. They've all been awesome. And that actually makes it go a lot smoother and easier and more enjoyable. But as I'm recording this, I still have some Edpuzzles to get through. I hope to have them done by Monday or Tuesday though, and should be fairly caught up with your tech because we had a little bit of an easier week last week, I thought, so there was no tech. This week's kind of back to normal though, so I wanted to make sure to get a video out, and it's I think it's a simplistic tech, but it's one that I think is kind of getting more and more important just in case you don't know how to use it. And it has a little bit of aspects to your Shepherd account that if you don't know anything about it, maybe it'll help out a little bit. So with all that being said, I will try to keep this as straightforward as possible and as short. One thing I do want to say, and actually if I had you for social studies methods, I know there's a couple people in here that were in that class. I think I shared this with everyone, but I put it in my tech class last semester, and I'm going to do it again. This isn't any assignment or anything. It's just more info. But there were some site assessment guides. I went to a conference it was during the fall, and they had some things. Oh, it's very hilarious, but one was called CRAP. It's a source evaluations for students. You know, of course, we want students to be able to find sources that are, reliable. And of course, everyone has Chromebooks or iPads, or was in Hardy County, they all had iMacs. And we want our students to be able to check out their source evaluation. So I have that link on here if you want to check it out. And there were some other things on there as far as website evaluations. And I'm just going to send it to you if you're interested. And if not, no big deal. Let me jump to our class though. Oh, by the way, while I'm doing this, a few of you had sent me Nearpods that it wasn't anything. They just because depending how you send it to me, some timed out. I think I got most of them update. I have one or two as I'm recording this. I got to go back in and update, but don't worry, I will have that done. If you don't see it updated by, I'd say Tuesday, that would be the 22nd. Just fire me an email. It will not offend me in the least. Believe me, I'm human. I could definitely miss something. All right. This week, we're going to look at QR codes. You'll have a discussion post in a blog. I have some information, and it'll look a little different when you get on here. I haven't jazzed this up a little bit as far as the QR codes, but by and large, it should all be here. We're going to look at QR codes, and QR codes are everywhere. When we do our Wakelets, when you do your Nearpods, when you do Kahoots, all those things have QR codes that you can actually send. And I think most of us, I don't think I have my phone up here, but of course, most of us, I think, know you just hold your phone up and it takes you right to the link. You're going to create one of those. I'm seeing those more and more in schools. Of course, I see them all over the place, even at Shepherd with flyers for organizations and things like that. But I thought in order to do the QR codes, we would do it through our Shepherd accounts, because I think some students and some faculty even don't realize some of the things we have with our Microsoft accounts through Shepherd. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close out my email first because it is in my email account. Let me sign out. Here's what you're going to be doing this week. Just close that out. And actually, I'm just going to close that out too. I am going to go, let me create a new tab. Sorry, I have my face over there on the side. I'm trying to be lazy and not move it for a Zoom as I'm recording this. All right, when you go to shepherd.edu, you'll see our webpage. I'm sure most of you have probably logged on from the site itself. I do it all the time from home. It's just sometimes easier. When you log in, you go to your email. You'll go here. And I'm not worried about any of that right now. I'm already logged in. I had signed in earlier, but usually you'll end up on this page. If you look on this side, there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's a lot of cool things here related to, this is This is basically like a HyperDoc type thing. You could use it like that. We talked about it with Google. You can share things. There's so much here. As you can see, there's other ones too, Sway and such. I have videos up on some of these. Some of these, I don't think I really need to get the nuts and bolts with it so much with you, but you have Word. I think everyone here is familiar with Word. Of course, you have Excel. Some people are love or hate Excel. I would say this. I don't make people do it for this class. I'm starting to, I wouldn't change this on you all right now. A lot of schools are starting to use a lot of the Microsoft like suite type things, and I would get familiar with it. There's also PowerPoint, because basically all this stuff is cloud. You all should have, let me go back to home. Well, of course, now it's not going to do it for me. There we go. This is a little better. As you can see, these are all the things you have access to. You can make PowerPoints on your account. You can do Word. Like I say, I think all these other ones are ones I'm not going to get into too much today. I do have videos up if you're interested. Sway is one that it's kind of like a Cliff Notes version of PowerPoint. I don't know what the best word. I'll click it. I've made a few just in the past just to do it. As you can see there, I've no recent Sways, but when you go on, let me go to when you go here, let me go back. All Sways, let's go. That's what I want. My Sways. As you can see, I've made some sample ones. I'll show you what it is in case if you were doing something in a class and you just wanted to do just like images, it literally is, that's what it is. And you do like little cards and then you can play it like that. I'm sorry, my face is in the front of that. So you look up here, you can play. So let's just hit Big Ben and that's it. This is what it is. It's kind of like a PowerPoint, but it's just like that. And then the zebra I left on there, but it just gives you a way to put photography and art. I would imagine if you did an art class, it might be something useful. This is actually in your Microsoft account when you log in now. So, and that's the main thing I just wanted you to know. Let me get out of that. Also, the other thing, I guess, really, I'm kind of babbling a little bit. There's two things I want you to be familiar with for this lesson. One is your OneDrive. I'm assuming everyone knows what a OneDrive is, but I would really get used to being familiar with OneDrive. Or if you're in the schools, you may have a Google Drive. They operate very much the same, but it's basically like a cloud-based system where you store all your stuff. I've really tried to get good at Shepherd while I've been here as far as putting things in there and storing it. As you can see, that's mine. I don't think there's anything incriminating on here, so I don't mind showing you. But that's how I organize it. So I make little notes and all the documents and everything else are there. Those are the folders that I made. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of works. There's videos down here. It stores them. I know where they are. I can get them in my office. I can get them at home. They're here. All you have to do is just hit up here if you want to upload anything. As you can see, you can create new folders. You can create new PowerPoints. All that's right there. So I just want to make you aware, you do have access. You have a storage place. So if you don't, I don't see too many people carry flash drives anymore, but if you do, and you want to stop carrying or worry about losing it, you can store stuff in your Shepherd OneDrive. And if you need any help with that, please contact me anytime. Also, I do have a video up. What you're going to do today, though, is, as you can see, again, you have Word. Everyone knows how to use that. Just click. I'm assuming everyone knows how to use it. PowerPoint, it's there. Those would probably be the two that you would use the most. But one that a lot of people use, I use it a lot too. If you need to send out a survey or if you want to do a quiz or anything like that, there's another one here called Forms. When you click on Forms, this is going to be your assignment. As you can see, there's nothing too recent now. But what I want you to do, and I'll pull the assignment up here in a minute just to go over it. But what I want you to do is I want you to create a Google Forms with 5 questions related to a content area or an assignment. Again, I'm going to give you the same kind of overview. If you're a content area specialist, just pick something in your content area. So my son, just because he's been doing a project on World War I, if I did 5 questions on World War I, that's fine. Social studies, science, it may be something, related to plants. If you're in elementary, anything. I mean, you all have your pick of categories, or if it's some sort of skill that you're working with students or something like that, maybe it's classroom rules, that's fine. I just want to make sure you know how to use the form. So once you click forms, you'll get to this screen. And as you can see, there's nothing on there. You'll have an option. You can either do a new form or a new quiz. I don't care which one you do. There's different ways. The quiz has a slightly different setup when you get the answers and the results because you can analyze the data. And I'll actually show you a little bit of that here in a minute. But when you click new forms, you're just going to give it a title. So I mentioned World War I. So I'll do World War I pop. I don't advocate pop quizzes, but we'll put that on there. And then you just start adding questions. And there's what you can do. You can have them rated, dated. I would just say probably, we'll just do a choice. So who was the president, there we go, of the United States during World War I. And you click right there, and you could put, we'll put TR, Teddy Roosevelt, or WW, Woodrow Wilson. We'll just give those choices, and boom. And then I'm going to add a new one. And you see, it just goes on there. There's the first one. Now, here's what you need to do. You need to make 5 questions. And then once you're done, you can go up here, and I want you to hit share. And you see there's things here, only people in my organization can respond. I should have access to it either way. Sometimes I will say, click on that and just say anyone can respond just to eliminate any headaches. But since you should be sending it to me from a Shepherd account, I shouldn't have a problem checking it out. But once you do that, don't send me this. I don't want the web address. What I want you to do is hit that. It's a QR code. You're going to click this. And that is what you're going to submit on Brightspace. I almost said Sakai. This is what you're going to submit on Brightspace. You can download it, as you can see. Boom, I have it. That's all you're going to submit. And I don't have my phone, but I'm going to use this card deck. And this is literally what I do. I open it up, I hold my phone up, and I scan it. I think a cat just walked into my room. Give me 1 second. There's my cat. He's going out. Sorry, buddy. Didn't realize the door wasn't shut. But you're going to literally download that, submit the web link. I'm sorry, this QR code. That's all you need to do. That's it in the story. Once you do that, you've met the assignment. You're going to do your blog and just say whether you would use QR codes or not. And all should be good. Also, you'll have a discussion board on Tech Like a Pirate, which, by the way, I'm going to get sidetracked here quickly. The last discussion boards that I graded on the Tech Like a Pirate, where you had to talk about gamings and things you would use, I really liked. Some of you went outside of the box and threw out some things that I had never heard of. I'm actually compiling a list of some of the things that were mentioned on there. I will send that out probably in a couple weeks. But there was some really cool tech that I had not seen some people had made note of. Some of it was pretty fun games, like 8-bit things and stuff like that that students can do. But I digress. This week, you're just going to create the forms, 5 questions, create this QR code, submit the QR code. That's your tech. Do a blog, whether you would do QR codes or not in school. I would say, think about it this way. I have seen some people in their class just do a QR code and project it up on their screens and the students scan it, especially if they have iPads. I've seen it with Chromebooks where they've used the cameras and they scanned it. Some people just send them the links. You know, it's preference. You can also, though, think, would you do it if you run a club? Would you use a QR code for a flyer so parents might see it? Think a little outside the box how you might use a QR code in schools. And that doesn't necessarily have to be in the class, you know. So with that being said, I'm going to close out that. That is the forms. And let me go back to our site. Again, don't forget your cloud, your OneDrive. But if you look back here, you will have something on the QR forms, OneDrive, Sway, Teams. By the way, I put Teams. I'm not going to get into Teams. I will be the first to admit I am not the biggest Teams fan. I know some people have told me if you stick with it for a week or two, it gets better. I still kind of lean Zoom. Maybe it's the simplicity of it a little bit. But Microsoft Teams is something you might want to check out. Maybe you've already done some stuff on Teams. There's the QR codes, 12 ideas that you can do for QR codes. So maybe before you do your blog, if you want to check those out, check them out. as you can see, I'm just going to click on it. Why not? And you can see that's on Edutopia, and it's different ways people do make it, I like the classroom greener, doing handouts. You can do, oh, not even thinking, stations. I have seen tons of QR codes on on different stations type exercises. So again, check it out. QR codes, pretty cool. And let me go back. And you'll do the blog and the discussion. And I'm sorry, I wanted to hit this. There's the QR code assignment. And you're just going to create a set of 5 content. I'm not going to be picky, like it says. Just create something that you think might be useful in the future for you. That's something with all of this. Do stuff you think you might help you out in the future, and just submit this QR code. And then, sorry, it does say Sakai, but I mean Brightspace. That's it. So with all that being said, I am going to get off of here. Hope everyone's had a good week. Again, Nearpods were fantastic, by the way, and that was a couple weeks ago, but they were really good. And puzzles that I've seen so far have been great. Should have those wrapped up pretty quick. With all that being said, I will talk to you later. I'm going to close out this share and say, catch you later.